and welcome to lockdown vlog number 40. Only 10 to go. I said I was going to do 50 vlogs in total and then I'll stop. And if I look at what's happening in the Netherlands, things are slowly starting to open up again. The hairdressers are allowed to go open, the swimming pools are opening, rules in general are getting more lenient, so maybe 10 more days is just enough also for these vlogs. And today it is raining in Rotterdam, so let's play some music. Now this is not going to be audiophile quality, but I tell you why in a moment. So this is Basement Jacks, and this is more or less the only song I am playing from them. And when I feel down a little bit or when I need some energy, I put on this. And especially if you want to have some fun today or have a smile, make sure you go onto YouTube and find the video clip that goes with this song. It's the clip where they constantly changing the t-shirts with the lyrics of the song on it, but the way they did it in combination with the energy of the song, that's something that always puts a smile on my face. So I did it this morning because, well, today is just one of these days that the lockdown is getting a little bit to me in terms of energy and stuff like that. But luckily I still have you guys to get out of bed and to do something, to have a structure and stuff like that. And yesterday I talked about the benefits of buying secondhand, so I thought, well, maybe, and that is because of the loudspeakers that I've installed right now. Yesterday we had the M1 from Tannoy, and today we have the M2 from Tannoy. And today I'm going to talk about the downside of buying secondhand. Well, there is of course a few things. One is that the equipment that you buy can be damaged on the outside, so scratches. I don't know if you can see it over here, but you see a little bit of this print where you can see that there was another device on top of this, and probably the rubber of the feet of that device left a little bit of a residue on there. Most of the times the top is scratched. Now if you put another device on top of it, you won't see that. And sometimes you have, of course, the front that is damaged. With this NAD I was pretty lucky. This is in very, very good condition, except for, of course, the thing that you saw there on the top. But this one is a different story, because another downside from buying secondhand is that sometimes the person selling the item will tell you that it is in perfect condition, and sometimes, not always, but sometimes they are just lying. So I bought this one for a very nice price, and when I played it, and I played it a little bit louder, there were all kind of noises coming from the loudspeaker, and upon closer inspection I would guess that this one on the bottom had some water damage. The particle wood that is used here was swollen up and loose, and it started vibrating when playing a little bit louder. I tried to fix that and it's almost gone. There's just, on certain frequencies, there's just a little resonance still left, but mostly it is gone. But one of the downsides of buying secondhand is, of course, is the seller telling you the correct story of the history of this thing. Now, of course, you'd say, well, didn't you have a listen? Well, you know, you try, but when somebody knows that that is going to be a problem, they will find an excuse. I believe these people said, well, we can't test it for you because now we have all Sonos and the loudspeakers don't have a output to put in a loudspeaker cable. Well, what you gonna do? You're gonna tell those people that you don't know that they are lying? I know now they did, but I didn't know then. Anyways, they are working again. And another downfall from buying secondhand, of course, is that maybe the electronics has gone bad and you do need to do a repair, or, which is something that when I'm doing the retro reviews of the older equipment from the 90s and stuff like that, you're not sure that what you are hearing is exactly the same as when it came out of the factory first. It might be that all electronics or capacitors or whatever went bad and the sound is different, and that's a downfall, of course, of buying second hand. And there is, of course, that odd thing that in 2 days they break down. Now, all in all, if I look at all the things that I've bought second hand, and I would guess a percentage that was in this category of being lied about or it didn't work or no, all the things I just told you, maybe it was 10%. So for me, that is a percentage I can live with in order to take the risk of having a lot of sound for just a few bucks. For example, my Audiophile loudspeakers, if I would only buy new, I would have never had these, because these new, as I told you, are 12,000 euros, and I got them for 2,000 euros, both of them, so 1,000 a piece. And if I would have the rule I'm never buying second hand, well, I would not have had these, and I am still very, very happy with them. Okay, well, yesterday I played the NAD with the M1s, and today I told you I play them with the M2s, and as I said, there is still something which is only on the right channel, by the way, but there's still this idea of, okay, are they sounding like they should? Because for now I think the M1s sound better than the M2s. Now let me explain. Of course, the M2s, they have a better bass and stuff like that. They do let you hear more, but the M1s, in my opinion of listening to them now these 2 days, is that what the M1 does is much more coherent than the M2. This sounds just a little bit like the highs and the mids and the lows are not completely integrated as well as they can, even though they give you more bass. The integration is maybe not as well as the M1, but this could be due to what I just told you, that there's also something wrong with more than just the wooden I don't know if you can see over here, you see the white stripe. That's where I try to put the two sides, because this was a gaping hole which was vibrating, the side parts and the bottom part. So I glued them together. So it could also be that it has to do something with that. But for now, the combination with the NAD and the M1 was better than the NAD with the M2. Okay, so why do I have so many loudspeakers, and do you need so many loudspeakers? Well, of course you don't. If you only want loudspeakers in the living room, then one set of loudspeakers is of course enough. For me, for example, because it is a hobby, I buy something, for example the M1, and later on I upgrade it to the M2. And what many people will do is to sell the previous item, but I don't. I also like to keep them around, because many people in my surrounding know that I have this hobby, and every now and then they will ask me, well, can you show me? Will it sound better with an actual loudspeaker? Because they may have a Bluetooth loudspeaker at home. They say, will it sound better with a loudspeaker? And I say, well, let me pick up one, put it in your house for a few weeks, and tell me what you think about it. Or when the amplifier is broken and it has to go for repair, and people don't want to be without music, well, they always know how to find me, and I'll give them, for example, this NAD, and they can have them for a few weeks, so they are not without music, because that is of course something that I don't want, for people to be without music. And the reason I bought the M1, so after the last financial crisis, I was without a job. I told you this a long time ago. I was without a job, so I had some of these devices and equipment left, and that was the basis for building up the man cave downstairs. But at first I had, for the television and the movies downstairs, I had bought the M1. I think I paid 40 euros for the set, so that was something that I had and that I could do. And after a little time I got some more money, so I used the M2 for front loudspeakers, and the M1s moved on to be the surround loudspeakers, and after that the M2s moved on to be surround loudspeakers, and that's when I got the Lin loudspeakers. So it's a progression that made it so I now have a complete Lin surround sound setup downstairs, but I also have all these previous loudspeakers that, for example, because of my channel, now I can make comparisons to all kind of equipment, instead of having everything only able to play on this loudspeaker, the Audiophile, because I strongly believe that not every combination from source to amplifier to loudspeaker, including all the cables, not every combination will work. I believe there has been some tests a long time ago to just put in a system all the most expensive stuff that you can find. That does not guarantee that it will sound the very best. There's always this integration, this synergy that is there or is not there. So that's why I also like to have a lot of these kind of loudspeakers. Yeah. All right. So we're coming up at the end of the pandemic, and what I am going to do in the next 2 weeks is to have all the surround sound gear from downstairs and try to make to set up a surround sound system in the living room, just because it's possible, and then when everybody is allowed to go visit each other, have the family over to do a video night, which we do sometimes, because I of course have my wonderful screen for my wonderful projector. But what I don't have in this room is surround sound, and so I'm going to set up the whole LIN system with the center, the front, left and right, and the two surrounds, and including the two subwoofers from REL that I have. And let's see how that works out. Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about today. This was lockdown vlog number 40. The rain stopped again in Rotterdam. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.